my name is Kelly Bluen. I am a certified Zentangle teacher. Welcome to day 9 of Inktober. I'm going to be honest with you, this one was very tricky for me. It is called Sumu. As you can see, there's some ink underneath. I had to cut out a piece of paper and put it over there. I agree with the no mistakes, and when you see my collage paper where I made it and didn't love it, I just kind of changed it up and fixed it. But in order to show you the correct way, I wanted to start this over. So today is Sumu by Lin Chiu, and I'm using a Micron 01 pen for this portion of it. Okay, so this one for me took so many practices, and just when I thought I had it right, I tried it and it didn't turn out. So it's a little bit tricky. So let me see if I can break it down for you. So her tangle is made by using the letter S, the letter U, and the letter M. So we start out with the letter S. I'm going to tuck that in a little bit more up there. And then she does the letter U. So this is the part that gets tricky for me. So here's what I found works. To make the letter M, I'm going to do a curve down over here and a curve over here, and then a bump in the middle. That's kind of the top of the M. So a curve here, a curve here, and then the M. And that is Sumu. When I try to just make the M, for some reason it turns out kind of funky. All right, let's do another one. We got our cute little S, our letter U, and then for the M, I'm gonna bump down, and do the bump in the middle. It's really quite pretty. I just couldn't get the hang of it. Let's do another one. Don't forget that letter U. Bump down, and the bump in the middle. Okay, that is Sumu. Now I'm going to switch to my giant piece of mixed media paper. So this is a 9 by 12 piece of like a watercolor type paper. It's nice and thick. So here is Sumu where I made it before when I first tried to record the video, and I just couldn't get these shapes right. So I went back and added some spirals and some orbs and just made it look pretty. So I'm going to switch to my Micron PN, which is the plastic nib pen. It's a little bit thicker. And let's see if we can add these in here. Let's turn our paper around a little bit. Let's do some over here. Okay, so I need to make that S shape. Like that. The top's a little bit more curvy than the bottom. And then I make a U. And that U is important because it gives this cute little end right there. And now I have to get from this point to this point with that M. So I'm going to go down over here, down over here. And then do that M in the middle. Isn't that pretty? So that's the basic shape. To change it up a little bit, I'm going to continue with my S and just add a little bit of a flare over there. All right, let's do one this way. I'm going to try to do one backwards. It might be a little bit challenging, but just basically making a backwards S shape. Then my U would come out the opposite way. And I have to get from this end to this end. So I'm going to do a bump and a bump that way and a bump that way. And I'm going to curl it in again as well. Okay, those are looking a little bit better than last time. Now to fill in some space here, I can put in, let's see, let's just do an orb right here, and an orb, maybe a little orb. I'm going to add a flick and some lines in there. Okay, let's attempt one more thing. She has this beautiful way of turning it into a border. So to turn it into a border, let's pick this spot right over here. All right, wish me luck. Okay, she goes like this and makes kind of this scallop shape. Let's go right up to the top of that there. And then she adds that curvy top of the S. Sorry, my hand is in the way. That curvy top to each of those. You ready? Then she does the U. Like that. So now my goal is to get from here, not to here, but from here down to, I guess, kind of this point here. So I'm going to do that same little bumping and bumping and that point in the middle. So bump. Ooh, maybe I'll go off of this one. I went off the top instead of the bottom. So there, there, and there. And there, and there. Okay, when she does it, it looks prettier, but you get the idea. And then from here, you can add things to it. You can add some orbs to fill in the edge of that border. And I'm going to make, I don't like how white the inside of that is, so I'm going to add another little curve inside each of those, just like a little spiral. One thing I love about the Inktober challenge is that I have about 10 favorites that I do over and over again on all of my tiles. And I don't always challenge myself to do something that's uncomfortable for me. This one for me was very uncomfortable. I just don't have that artistic flair or vision for how this works. So by having it in a challenge, I make myself play around with it. And it's okay if I mess it up. Nobody cares. I'm going to aura the whole thing. It's a little bit tricky. There's lots of angles. There, look at that. Not too bad. All right, she has some really fun other ways that she plays with it. So feel free to play around with it a few times, add it to your tile. I'm going to do a little bit of shading. I'm not exactly sure how we're supposed to shade this, but it's looking kind of flat. So I'm going to put some graphite just down in the bottom of these points like this. And I'm going to take my tortillon and I'm going to push that up along the side and up along that side. See how that just gives it a little bit of dimension. I'm going to put a little bit of graphite, just using the end of my tortillon on the sides of those little orbs. That's it. On these, I can add some to that inside point and coming up, and on those orbs. All right, I hope you enjoyed Sumu. I hope it was easier for you than it was for me. It is very beautiful. Thank you so much. We'll see you tomorrow.